Alright, this is like my third attempt of making this video. I've got a 2014 Ram 1500 with a 5.7 Hemi engine, broke a timing chain. I looked online to see if there was anybody having this problem, and apparently it's a common problem. I wanted to make this video because I can't find any information, so hopefully it helps you if you're having this issue. On this, I've already done a little bit of work. Took the airbox out. I took the valve cover off because I wanted to see if there was any difference in the valve springs on the valve stems themselves. See if anything was irregular. I wanted to know if there was any bent valves. I haven't done this side, but I stuck an inspection camera. And the inspection camera I use is just an Amazon. I didn't see any damage on top of the pistons. So now I'm gonna tear into the front of the engine. I'm going to put a timing chain that I had laying around for this engine, and then I'm gonna spin it over to see if we have compression. Guys, I know this might be a waste of time for all the professional mechanics out there or the professional technicians, but for the person that's doing it themselves, this might be valuable information, and that's the whole reason I'm doing this. Okay, so I'll remove the fan shroud, and the electric fan. And to remove this fan here, you're gonna turn this clockwise, so you can get a tool for removing a fan removal tool, or you can get one of these if you have one laying around and just strike it on the very edge gently, and you're gonna do it clockwise. It looks like somebody else has already done it. These things are always like this, so I'm not really worried about it. After you remove the fan, just go down there, very corner of the radiator, and drain the coolant. Guys, to remove this belt, just go to Harbor Freight, get you this tool. This tool works better than a ratchet because you can use it to change your belt even when the fan shroud is on. So with if you're gonna do maintenance to your car, now off camera I've removed this bracket. Okay, now we're gonna remove the terminal from the battery. We have to remove the alternator, a few of these hoses up here, and we're gonna do the heater hoses, and we're gonna start with the front of the engine. So we're gonna remove the water pump. We're gonna end up removing this hose here, this one, and when we get to the crank pulley, I'll show you how to remove that one. Once you remove the alternator, go ahead and remove the water pump. I've already removed it on mine. This is what it looks like for reference. There's gonna be a couple bolts that you will not be able to see from this angle. It's gonna be I believe this one or this one, and this one here, because the water pump sticks out. You can remove it with the tensioner still attached. So from this angle, you won't be able to see that bolt. Once you're done with that, remove the crank pulley. You're gonna need a special tool to remove the harmonic balancer. Looks like this. You can rent one at AutoZone or Advanced Auto Parts. Alright guys, so last night I was able to find a timing chain that I had laying around, and I put it on. I'll post a picture of the alignment marks. I put the timing chain on, and what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to spin the motor over and do a compression test on every cylinder to see if we have any bent valves. Okay, so we're gonna start at the front. I've got my gauge here. I'm gonna rig up a wire to the starter so that I can control it from the engine bay. Now, I guess if you're wondering how I did it or how I'm going to do it, I'm gonna look at the starter here. We're gonna unplug the signal cable here. We're gonna grab our wire, just a simple wire. Put a terminal on it. I'm gonna connect it to, I don't know if you can see that, right where this wire was supposed to go. Right here. And that's just a signal cable. That'll give a 12-volt signal. The starter will spin. And I'll open the throttle by hand to get a good reading on compression. Okay, and all you have to do now is hook up your negative terminal, hook up your positive terminal. Make sure that nothing here is going to touch any wiring, anything like that. I'm going to open the throttle by hand, probably stick a screwdriver in there, and then you just stick this wire on the positive, and that'll spin the engine. Now I'm going to stick a screwdriver that I can't really lose in there. I'm going to open this up by hand, stick the screwdriver. It'll block some air, but it won't be enough to give me an incorrect reading. I just want to know if I have over 125 pounds, or any at all. Okay, so we're good on that cylinder. Now we're going to do the same exact thing on every single one of those and on the other side. Okay, so we found our first cylinder with bent valves, and I think it's time to check the rest of them and see if we have to pull just one head or both heads. So we need a head gasket kit, timing chain kit for this engine. We're gonna pull the head, send them to the machine shop, get new valves. Once we get them back, I will film the entire thing and maybe I can post it on YouTube.